Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking this air compressor apart. This is an old Sears air compressor I've had for I don't know how many years. I don't use it very often because I got my big boy here in the shop. But every once in a while I like to go out and do some portable stuff like nailing fences and filling people's tires up, or whatever small projects that I have to be mobile for. So this comes in handy for that. Problem is, it's pretty old, outdated. It's got a few leaks. The tank on the bottom has been rusting out, and there's just a few holes in it. So I'm going to explode this thing all apart, taking everything apart piece by piece. I'm going to sand it all down. I'm going to weld the holes up, grind them down, repaint everything, and kind of reassemble it to give it kind of more a refreshed look, and hopefully it lasts me a bit longer. Way down to the tank and the support that's welded on here. I'm gonna cut all this old paper off of here, scrape everything down, sand it down really good, and then the welding I gotta do, it's actually on the bottom. Someone's already tried to kind of screw in some rubber pieces to cover the whole rust holes up. That's someone being me anyway. But I'm gonna take those out and grind this down with my grinder, weld those holes up, and then grind that down smooth, and then paint it. And then I'll probably put some plugs in here and then shoot some air in to test to make sure my my welds are holding. But now the cleanup process begins. Man, it already looks a lot better. Got all the grease and dirt off of it. Just a little bit I get off here, but overall that worked really good. All I did was I had just some car soap and a sanding sponge and some water, and I got all the rough grease and dirt and stuff off here. A lot of the rust came off too, actually. So I'm gonna let this sit here and dry for a while. I'm moving on to other parts. I'm gonna put the compressor into my solvent tank, clean up this tray, this catch tray right here, some of the brass I'm going to scrub down. I'm also going to clean up this plastic guard here and see if that's going to be savable. Trying to decide if I want to paint that or not. Problem with painting on this, I think this is fiberglass, is that typically over time it just kind of flakes off. So I don't know. Let's see what it looks like when it gets cleaned up. Maybe I won't do anything with it. We'll see. Cool thing about these copper tubes is that they'll actually shine up pretty nice just by putting it in the solvent tank and kind of scrubbing them down with something. They get dull after a period of time sitting out. They oxidize, you know, but they'll turn out pretty good. There's a part of it here that's dull still, but that's what it'll look like once I get it done with it. Alright, got the pump all cleaned up. It actually came out really good. The paint on this actually isn't too bad except for right here where it's starting to flake off around the front here. But on the side it's alright, but I think I'm still going to paint it anyway. I got the wheel cast all cleaned up. Most of the rust is off of this. I was thinking about maybe leaving it cast and just clear coating it because it looks kind of cool with the industrial look, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet on that. It's not completely cleared off, so I might have to go back in the tank, but I may just hit it with some paint because this is going to rust up really fast just the way it is. So the tank, it's almost dry. I'm going to flip it over, grind it down, sand it down. I cleaned off this plastic here too. I know earlier I said it was fiberglass, but it's just a plastic thing. The inside of it turned out clean, but I really don't like this color at all. I'm gonna paint that. I just don't know what color yet though. I'm not too concerned with that. I considered leaving it off and just showing the wheel, you know, having it a little bit cleaner, but safety, you know. And then I got the regulator body and electronics on here. Most of this is just gonna leave alone except for I'm gonna see if I can pull this and paint this black again, just, you know, make it a little nicer. But yeah, progress is happening. Oh yeah, I got the motor here. I'm gonna paint that black. I'm gonna try to save on the label if I can. It might look a little out of place once it's all said and done, but and then the handle, I'm gonna paint that too probably. I don't know, maybe I don't think I can sand that rust off there, so yeah, I'll probably give that a coat. I got some paint options. I'll lay them out here and kind of figure out what I want to do. And then the bottom tray where the pulleys go, this is a galvanized plate. I don't have to do anything with that. The galvanized plate won't rust up, so as soon as I scrub all the dirt off of it, that can stay just like it is. I can bolt that right back up. Alright, so I wasn't getting anywhere with at my house with my arc welder, so I decided to come over to my friend's house. He's got a nice MIG welder. I ground down all my nasty booger welds down here, and I'm going to pressurize it, see where the leaks are at, use the MIG welder, weld them up, and then grind it smooth again. And hopefully that solves my problem. Alright, I'm going to get started painting the tank here. I've got an assortment of paints I have left over from other projects. I'm just going to use something like that. This is not going to be a full-on like showroom piece here. I just want it to look decent and work well. So I'm going to paint the tank itself. It's going to be black. I've got some paint that will go on the plastic here. That's going to be white, I believe. Not sure yet about the pump. I think I've got some red that'll go on there. So you got the red, black, white. And then I got some more black paint for the other smaller pieces, and then we'll start reassembly. Oh, come on. Ooh, that's a run. That doesn't look good. Alright, so far this has been the hardest part of the whole project. So, I took the switch, dang it. I took the switch out of this housing. This switch is what you use to toggle on the power to the motor and toggle off the power. Also, it uses pressure from this regulator to turn the switch on and off. So anyway, this lever here is your manual override. So when I took this out to paint this housing, the mechanism with the springs just went twing and everything went everywhere. So I reassembled it, and I'm holding it together with a zip tie because that metal piece has to sit in the groove where those ear tabs are. But it's virtually impossible unless you have like 8 fingers to set this, or excuse me, 8 hands to set this down in there without this just exploding, and while simultaneously holding the manual lever in place that I've got held up by this blue painter's tape. So that's being held by that. Zip tie is holding the rest of it on. The idea here is I'm going to set this down in there, screw the screws down, and then cut and pull the zip tie out after it's all mounted in place. So hopefully that goes as planned. Alright, got it mounted in there. Diaphragm on here. Now I've got one screw already through the bottom. There we go. Alright, let's see if that worked. Come on. A little bit tight, but it's coming. Oh, maybe not. There it goes. Come on. There we go. Because why not? I have to say I'm really liking the red and black so far. Looks pretty good. Don't know if I'm gonna want to put that on. Might ruin the aesthetic a little bit, but I don't know, we'll see when it gets there. I know. Safety first, right? Safety first. So this is something pretty cool I bought years ago. This holds the nuts on the wrenches in hard to reach places. So we've got these bolts that are way down here, and you have to reach underneath this to get to the nut, but you can't reach in there with your finger to start it. So what you do is you take this guy, it's got a little magnet pad on it, you slip it over your wrench like that, and then you can put the nut in there and it'll hold it in place. And then you can reach underneath here and then start it. It's pretty neat. Alright, I went ahead and spent some money. I got larger wheels for this thing. The wheels I had on it before were so small that whenever I would pick it up, the bottom of the tank would scrape on the ground there. So this is kind of necessary. These were about 13 bucks a piece at Ace Hardware. So not a huge chunk of money, but it should work a lot better this way. All right, there she is. I think I like the white. Yeah, it's okay, and it's safer with the white wheels. Red motor, red pump, everything else black. I added this hook and then this support bar, so that way I can take my hoses along with me without them dragging all over the place. But you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to work good. It's 30 weight non-detergent oil into the pump, and you drain it here and then you fill it there, and you just fill it till it's at the bottom of the threads, and then you put the plug back in. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It seems to work really well. Looks really good, and no leaks, so that's good. Thanks guys for watching. If you like what I do on this channel, please consider subscribing. We'll see you all in the next one.